Hello, today we're going to be looking at factoring quadratics that have a leading coefficient. And remember what we said yesterday, it's kind of like unfoiling. That is, I want to find two binomials that multiply to this quadratic. Now the difference today is we have a term in front of x, so I have to find two. The first term has to multiply to 3. The last terms have to multiply to 2. Now this one isn't so bad because there's only two numbers that multiply to 3. 1 and 3. So I'm going to say x and 3x. I could have said 3x and x. It really doesn't matter. And then two terms that multiply to 2, well, that'll be 2 and 1. Now, what's unlike yesterday is I don't know if this is true. Where when we did the diamond problems, we had figured out that those were true. I cannot without a doubt check this problem. And if it doesn't work out, I'll have to redo it. So when I do this, I'll get 3x squared plus x plus 6x plus 2. Notice this is not checked, does it? Because I get 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. So that means the order I have these problems does not work. So let's try this. Let's switch the 3x and the x around. Whenever you do a problem like this, the first thing you do is you try one pair, switch around, see if it works. Now, let's check it. So then I'll get 3x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 2. Then I get 3x squared plus 5x plus 2. That checks. That's what I want. So my answer then is 3x plus 2 times x plus 1. Now if I take a look at number 2, we're going to throw in some sign changes at you, so we have some positive and negatives to worry about. Once again, I take a look here, and I only have two numbers that multiply to 2x squared, so I'll try 2x and x. Only two numbers multiply to negative 11. One is positive, one is negative. And so now, once again, I'll have 4 different ways I'll have to check this if it doesn't work out. So I'll try plus 1 minus 11. So let's do a quick check here to see if this works out. So I'll get 2x squared plus a negative 22x plus 1x minus 11. So then I'll get 2x squared minus 21x minus 11. Notice I've got the numbers in the right order, but the sign is opposite, which tells me, doing some problem solving, that I've got the numbers in the right order. I just got to switch the signs around. Keep the numbers in the same order and make the 1 a negative and make the 11 a positive. And then we'll do a quick check here. I'll get 2x squared plus 22x minus x minus 11, which simplifies to 2x squared plus 21x minus 11. And there you go. There's your answer. And once again, you might have to do a number of guessing and checking on this, so you you want to use a pencil on everything. Okay, example 4, we just have a lot more situations to look at. And what I'm going to tell you to do is make a chart and do this systematically. So if I look at 8, what are the factors of 8? Well, they're 1 and 2. Try that again, 1 and 8. Just thinking ahead. 1 and 8. And 2 and 4. The factors of negative 15 are plus or minus 1 and 15. Positive or negative 3 and 5. Now, it's just a guessing and checking game. So I'm going to try 2x and 4x. And then let's try plus 3 minus 5. Just start from the bottom here. No reason. We just try it. Okay, now let's do a check to see how close we are. Remember, we want to get negative 14x for the middle term. So then I'll get 8x squared minus 10x plus 12x minus 15. And notice I'll get 8x squared plus 2x minus 15. Didn't work out. Okay, so let's do this. Let's switch the numbers around. 2x plus 5, 4x minus 2. Okay, then I'll do a check. 8x squared minus 4x plus 20x. Oh, let's try that again. I just noticed 5 and 2. That should have been a 3, shouldn't it have? So let's do a quick check here. 8x squared minus 6x plus 20x minus 15. And 8x squared plus 14x minus 15. Okay, notice I've got the right terms. Wrong sign, because I want a negative. So that tells me then my answer should be 2x minus 5 times 4x plus 3. And do a quick check. So I'll get 8x squared plus 6x minus 20x minus 15, which is 8x squared minus 14x minus 15. Checks. There's your answer. And that's how we do problems like that. Okay, now let's take a look at the next problem. Now, what's different about this problem, and I'm trying to make it simpler for you, notice 6, 9, and 27. They have a common factor. Make it simpler. Factor that common factor out, just like we did way back in Chapter 2. What goes into 6, 9, and 27? 3 does. So 3 then times 2x squared plus 3x minus 9. And by doing this, this limits the number of possibilities I've got to try. So I'm going to leave the 3 out here. I'm still going to get 2 binomials. And then I'm going to check. Well, I'm going to try 2x and x, because those are my only factors. And then negative 9, let's try a positive 3 and a negative 3. Now, I really only need to check to FOIL the last two to see what I get. So let's go 2x squared minus 6x plus 3x minus 9. And I'll get 2x squared minus 3x minus 9. Doesn't check. Okay, switching the 3's around won't matter, so let's try 9 and 1. So I'll try 3 times 2x plus 9 and x minus 1. So let's do a quick check of that. I'll get 2x squared minus 2x plus 9x minus 9. That's 2x squared plus 7x minus 9. That doesn't check either, does it? So what? Unlike last time, let's switch our numbers around. And so let's try 2x plus 1 times x minus 9. And then I'll check that one. So I'll get 2x squared minus 18x plus x minus 9. Not getting the 3x I want, am I? Oh my goodness. I just noticed something. I had the 3x on the first problem. So that's what happens when you don't pay attention sometimes. I want you to, oh yeah, I did that on purpose. Notice I want the 3x there, but it's positive and I got a negative, so I actually had the problem done the first time. I just have to go 2 or 3 parentheses 2x minus 3, x plus 3. Now let's check. So I'll get 2x squared plus 6x minus 3x minus 9. So you get 2x squared plus 3x minus 9, which checks with this problem. So I know this factors completely. Okay, number 8. I want to solve this problem. How do I try to solve it by factoring? So what I'm going to do is I'll make one side equal to 0. So the first thing I'm going to do, subtract 12x from both sides. Then I'll get 8x squared minus 2x minus 11 equals 10. Subtract 10 from both sides. So I'll get 8x squared minus 2x minus 21 equals to 0. Now notice nothing goes into all three of these. So once again, I'll make a chart here. 1 and 8, 2 and 4 are the factors of 8. The factors of 21 are 1 and 21, 3 and 7. And that's it. So once again, I'll do a little guessing and checking. So I'll go 2x plus 3, 4x minus 7 equals 0. And then I'll check this to make sure that it works. So then I'll get 8x squared minus 14x plus 12x minus 21 equals 0. And notice that turns out to be 8x squared minus 2x minus 21, which is exactly what I want. I got lucky here. And the way you get lucky is you do many, many of these, and you start to get a kind of a feel for what numbers you should try. I mean, I could have started with 1 and 8 and 1, but you start noticing that, geez, if the middle term is 2, I don't want the numbers very far apart. But remember, I'm not done. I've just factored this. Now we got to do what we did the other day. Apply the zero product property to solve this problem. And so then I'll get 2x plus 3 equals 0, or 4x minus 7 equals 0. So then I do it like I have been all along, so I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So I'll get 2x equals 3. Get negative 3, that is. Divide both sides by 2. So in the first case, x is negative 3 halves. In the second case, I'm going to add 7 to both sides. So I'll get 4x equals 7. Divide both sides by 4. And x equals 7/4. Once again, if you notice a pattern that, hey, opposite of 3 divided by 2, positive 7 divided by 4, I can go straight to your answer. You don't have to necessarily show all this work if you can do that in your head, as long as you get the answer correct. Now, little throwback to last chapter. You jump off a high dive platform at a city pool, which is 12 feet above the water, with an initial velocity of 4 feet per second. How long will it take you to hit the water? So this problem is actually, I think we solved this same problem last chapter, but we'll do it again, this time by factoring. So once again, we got to go back to our formula for when we have a velocity of an object falling. So it'll be negative 16 t squared plus vt plus s, where v is the initial velocity, s is the starting height, h is the height where the object lands, and t is our time. So when I hit the water, my height is 0. So that works out nice because I got a quadratic set to 0. Negative 16t squared plus 4t plus 12. My pen seems a little touchy this morning, so we'll Try that again. They kind of look like and signs when they're not supposed to. So plus 4t plus 12. Now here's the hint. Notice 4 goes in all these. So that'll make it easier. But I want the leading coefficient to be positive on this. So what I'm going to do, rather than factor out a 4, I'm going to factor out a negative 4 to make the leading coefficient, the number in front of t squared, positive. So I'm going to factor out a negative 4. So negative 4, if I factor out, then I'll get 4t squared plus, or that's actually not plus anymore because I'm factoring on a negative. So it'll be minus 1t minus 3. Now this works out kind of nice because I only got 2 factors of 3. So I'll say negative 4. I'll try, let's start with 2. 2t plus 3, 2t minus 1. And we'll see if, remember, I want to get a positive in here, and I can look at this and almost see it's not going to work, but I'll try. I'll do a quick check to show you. So it'll be 2t squared minus 2t plus 6t minus 3. So I'll get 2t squared plus 4t minus 3. Notice I want to get a negative t, so let's switch the numbers around. So I'll start all over. So 0 equals negative 4. Let's try 2t plus 1 times 2. That's not going to matter. My 2 is the problem because I'm going to get the same number just in reverse order. Let's try 4 in that. So I'm going to go negative 4 and let's try it again. So I'll go negative 4. I'll try 4t plus 3 times t minus 1. And see what we get here. So now when I start to factor that, or to multiply it, to check it, I'll get 4t squared minus 4t plus 3t minus 3. So that's 4t squared minus t minus 3. That checks with what we had here. So now I'll apply the zero product property. So 0 equals negative 4 times 4t plus 3 times t minus 1. Solve each of those. Now, since negative 4 isn't 0, the other parentheses must be 0. So I'll get 4t plus 3 equals 0, or t minus 1 equals 0. In this case, subtract 3 from both sides. So then we'll get 4t equals negative 3. Divide both sides by 4. And t turns out to be negative 3/4. In the other case, I'll just add 1 to both sides. T equals 1. Now, since I'm doing time, the person can't hit the water before they jump. So, although the model tells me that the answer is negative, I know that that doesn't apply to this situation. So, since it's a word problem, I'll answer in a complete sentence. So, the diver will hit the water one second after they jump. So, nice problem on that one.